Hey everyone, Brendan here from Goalorious. Today I'm super excited to talk with Matt from Block Ape Scissors once again. So hey Matt, thanks for joining again.
Thanks for inviting me again, Brent. It's great to be here.
I'm super excited to hear about the great updates. I've been following along these past couple weeks. I think it's been a couple weeks since we talked last. Lots of exciting updates, which I want to jump into. But first question is, how are you doing since we last talked? So much updates, so much exciting things. Has it been stressful? Have you been getting sleep? How are you?
Well, it's a bit of everything, really. Everything's going great. We've got partnerships happening. We have a lot of marketing coming out. The team's been going great in terms of filling out all the necessary components and parts, and everything's rolling on. I can say the circadian rhythm's been tested a little bit. There've been a couple of updates that are sort of 2 and 3 in the morning for me that, we have community engagement, so that rolls into 5 a.m. and then I've got to go and drop my daughter off to school at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So it's been a journey, but everything's going really well, and I'm super proud and happy of the team and the community.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you being busy as the co-founder, it's just awesome. That means that people are excited about this project. A lot of things are going on. I mean, you're trying to balance a lot of things, which we'll get into. So let's just jump right into it. But for those who didn't watch, and I'll link it somewhere here. If you guys didn't watch the first interview that we did, I'll link it so you guys can check that out. But would you mind giving 60 seconds? Maybe it'll take 2 minutes to explain what Block Ape Scissors is about. And yeah, for those people who haven't heard about this project.
Yeah, sure. So Block Ape Scissors essentially is a play-to-earn model 2.0. Why we're calling it 2.0 is because we have a variety of different mechanics that are involved in the ecosystem. So it's not just a game, it's not just a DeFi platform, it's not just an NFT project. It incorporates all of them together that allows multiple peoples of different sort of financial levels and gameplay levels to interact with the ecosystem and earn. So we have an exciting game that's coming out on the 16th. We have our alpha testing, and there's a form as well, if you want to link that somewhere, Brent.
I need to take a list of things I'm going to link. Yeah, so the alpha test form people can submit, and then it runs from the 16th, August 16th to like the 27th, if I remember.
Correct.
Correctly.
Nailed it. So
I was one of the first people that signed up for it. I'm super excited about it. How much, I don't know if you're gonna say, how much people do you think roughly are you gonna allow in the alpha test, or you're gonna kind of wait and see?
Well, I think we'll cap it at around about 100. So, I mean, there are still a few spots if people want to get in, but we'll be selecting people based on, their interest in the game, providing constructive feedback, potentially their backgrounds and those sorts of things as well. So perhaps not everyone will get selected if we cap at 100, but, there's a really good chance to get in there and test it out, especially if you're, from a gaming background, or you're a streamer or something like that. So, yeah.
And I assume that they'll be on a list somewhere, and sometime down in the near future, they'll be able to test it. Yeah. So is there going to be like an NDA? So you mentioned streamers. So if someone got into the alpha and some guy wanted to stream that on Twitch, are you going to allow that? Or is it going to be like, no,
yes.
you are. Cool. Perfect.
Yes.
So if you guys don't get in, at least look out for it, and I'll keep you guys updated when I'll be the first. Maybe it'll be me. Hey, I'm streaming on Twitch, but that's great. So you're gonna let people check it out. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's all part of it. So as much sort of gameplay advertising as possible, I think is really good at this phase. And then when we enter into beta release, which is scheduled for the 27th, then a lot of people will know about it, and more people will come to play. So.
Got it. Oh, so the beta is August 27th. Oh, so pretty. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And then is that like an open beta where everyone can get in, or?
At this stage, yes.
Cool.
We'll see how much is uncovered with the alpha.
Of course. Yeah.
But during the alpha, we'll be implementing changes and tweaks and all those sorts of things. So it depends where we arrive, but my expectation at the moment is that, we'll have an open beta from the 27th.
Got it. That's cool. again, I'll put all this information and keep you guys updated. But that's super exciting. Like I think last time we were talking about it, there wasn't there was some information, but now there's like there's so much information. There's screenshots from inside the game, and it's pretty much almost done, right? I mean, if you guys are having obviously an alpha, that is pretty close. Maybe we could talk a little bit about the game itself. So it's for, I think, like 9 to 10 players, or maybe any specifics around that, I think would be great.
Yeah, cool.
Players.
So we've got we have, for the beta, we're going with a 6-player mode. But when we hit, sorry, with the alpha, but when we hit the beta, there'll be 6 and 9 player modes. So cool. They work specifically with mechanics in that format. So 6 and 9, and then eventually when we release further on with additional mechanics, there'll be a 15-player mode as well. So that'll be a really big label.
But that's awesome and chaotic at the same time.
Yeah.
But that's great that you're offering different types of modes, and obviously people will find out where they like the best and things like that. But yeah, that's great. That's it's like I said, from the screenshots and the videos that I've seen, it looks amazing. Kudos to your artist, or yeah, how many artists do you have? Like one or multiple? The ape that they did, those 3D models of the ape look great. I guess that's like the main thing. You got to get the ape right.
Yes.
For this to look. So
yeah. So in terms of the 3D design team, we've got there's basically 5 people in that area. So there's Lockie, Michaela, Marco, Giulio, and geez, I can never remember. Gaga, I think his name is Gagik. I can't pronounce his name. But yeah, there's a whole
team. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And designs team's done a really great job. And so this is the kind of stuff that we're putting together, which is both cinematic quality and then the low palindrome, low polygon stuff for the actual game itself. And there'll be a whole bunch of improvements in terms of game environment, cinematics and events and in-game accessories and all those sorts of things to pile on top of it. So they got their work cut out, but where we've arrived now is really good. It's really exciting. It's looking great. I'm happy with it too. In terms of the screenshots that you guys have access to and those things, there are some additional things with lighting and baking the lights and those things to reduce the saturation. But overall, I think it's looking good.
Yeah, and it's not, I think you kind of hinted at, it's not only the game, it's also like the UI and the platform, right? So I'm looking at this screenshot here that I guess is showing like everything going on with, so like featured NFT rotation, game updates, obviously tracking like the price of the chart, like that's all in development too. Is that part of the alpha? Like you're also testing that, or is it literally just the game and maybe a status on the platform as a whole?
Yeah, so that UI, that will be available. That's the intention, is to have that available in the alpha. There will be certain parts that won't actually be active, but they'll be placeholders for the back-end components being functional. But yeah, there's so you can see there's battle mode, sit and go tournaments, and coming soon. So coming soon will be the free rolls for the beta, and then there's the cosmetic closet, which we'll be working iteratively on over time to sort of plug different things and put different accessories on top of your ape and customize it and those sorts of things. So that'll be really cool.
I'm very familiar with cosmetics and things like that. I've definitely spent like, I play League of Legends, and I've probably spent over $300 on that free-to-play game because I love the artwork and things like that. So everything that I'm seeing from these screenshots looks amazing. People are always like, how do you spend $300 on a free game? And I was like, well, they keep coming out with awesome stuff. And yeah, so I think that's great. And it looks cool. Yeah. I can't wait to check that out. And that makes sense, right? Like you want to test to make sure that the platform works as intended, and it's totally okay that not all the features are there, but by the time beta and launch rolls around, I think everything will look and be solid. So even the charts there. So maybe we could talk a little bit about how the token itself, BAS, how that kind of like plays into this whole thing. Obviously, you play the game and you have to you wager, right, if I remember correctly, and you can win more tokens.
Yeah, so we've had some pretty good discussions with the legal team about where we're starting from, where we're going to, and how that evolution is going to take place. So at this particular moment, we're moving forward with in-game currency as being the method of play, and there'll be a marketplace for people to trade that in-game currency for NFTs and also for different, things like accessories and those sorts of things.
Oh, cool.
So essentially, you'll be able to use that in-game currency along with BAS in a variety of forms on the ecosystem to create different forms of value. So they might be NFTs that give you kind of like a representation of TVL that could be applied on the farms, or in-game bonuses in different ways. So you have like a +5 point start, or a rebuy NFT. If you get knocked out, you can apply the NFT and you get straight back in with more chips, that sort of stuff, innovative ways that are kind of like coupons, or free passes, VIP stuff that is, things that you would usually have as kind of like, a physical pass, as a backstage pass or a ticket or a token. They can be applied to the ecosystem in a variety of different dynamic ways. So they're the kinds of things that you'll be able to buy either with BAS or with the in-game currency, and choose your own adventure, so to speak.
Cool. Yeah, and I see that the NFTs, you guys are, well, first of all, a couple things. You guys, I think, are having some sort of NFT like giveaways for if you're doing things. So like win an exclusive in-game NFTs. So we'll talk about that in a second. But if you have the NFT, this looks like a profile picture in the game, right? So is that like this ape picture, like you use that and that ends up being like your profile picture in the game that is like super unique to your profile? Is that the main use for these type of NFTs?
You're talking about the in-game NFT avatar?
Yeah, the avatar. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
The avatar.
yeah.
It's your avatar. Perfect. Right?
Yeah. So they're really cool. They're kind of like, I mean, there's this whole sort of trend around, punks and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So to be clear, these aren't punks. These are apes. It's different. They're built on the same kind of like
Pixelated,
structure.
like what is it? I don't know. Is it like 60 by 60 or something?
It's 24 by 24, I think.
Oh, geez. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that
Cool.
I'm heavily involved in that.
No.
But they're really cool. I've actually got one myself. But
I saw, and I was a little jealous. I mean, of course you have one. That totally makes sense. Yeah. But
mine is a bit special apparently because it has some elemental stuff to it. It's got like a fire head coming out.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah. Again, I'm jealous. They have a lot of awesome ones in here. They have the hoodies and stuff like that, which is the homage to the CryptoPunks, etc.
There's a bunch of different attributes. So there's glasses, there's crowns, there's the super duper ultra rare ones which have elementals, and there's specific beards, hoodies. Yeah, there's quite a number. So
okay, how do we get them? Okay, now that you've talked about like how do I get them specifically?
You must be one of us.
Nice,
so you got to join the community and engage in some of our different giveaways. And we have a bunch of different competitions that allow you to earn these kinds of cosmetics and avatars. So in the last one, we had a story. So there was an actual we had community event which was based on people from the community creating a story based on where our ape in the logo had actually come from.
Yeah.
So there were, and I submitted one too, which was a lot of fun. And then we were awarded the top story with an NFT and $350 in BAS.
Nice.
And then there were five additional prizes as well. And we had some really interesting stories that came through. And the next one I think that we have, or the one that we have at the moment, is based on some loot, or at least kind of like a little treasure box or something that is based on stuff that people can find in treasure chests and those sorts of things, and what's inside it. There's a story that's based on what's inside it. So it could be it could be a watch, it could be sunglasses, it could be a necklace,
like I saw
or a
banana
hat.
or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that's an accessory. So come up with a story based on the accessory, submit it. You can win. You win the NFT, and those sorts of things. So we're really big on community interaction and creating that, you know, really creative, cultivative spirit in our Telegram and Discord. So it's a lot of fun, and you get an opportunity to participate in the giveaways and earn some really cool stuff that will actually have value in game.
Yeah, I think, yeah, the first place wins like a retro crypto ape player and NFT icon, and then the other one is like 5 winners gets their concepts made into in-game cosmetic NFTs, right? So those are something, those cosmetic NFTs or could potentially be something your character is holding or just wearing or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Could potentially be anything, I think. Cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome and exciting. One thing that I also saw was that names and nicknames, I guess, right? Is an important thing. I think that's something that you guys are like reserving, or maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a fun situation happen one day where in Telegram, a bunch of people were like, how do I get a tag? I want to be this kind of ape, or I want to be this. So we just decided that we were going to assign people all the names, you know, as tags in Telegram based on the ape profile they wanted to be. And it evolved really quickly. So everyone was kind of saying, I want to be this person. Oh, that's taken. I want to be this person. Oh, you know, I can have that. Yeah, cool. And then we ran out of available moderator spots. And so we couldn't apply anyone any more tags, but we decided that what we were going to do is we were going to pass them through from Discord and Telegram directly into the game and provide these tags as in-game nicknames. So you'll have your avatar and you'll have your in-game nickname, and both of them are essentially NFTs that can be bought, sold, replaced, etc. So at the moment we have a form which is still available, I think, for the next week for people to reserve the nickname that they want in game. And once that form is closed, the only way that you can get the nickname or get a new nickname is by minting it or buying it from someone else. So there will be a cost associated with that in future. So I'm sure somewhere there'll be a link.
I'll post a link to the form after. I'm actually going to reserve mine. I haven't done it yet. So hopefully nobody buys the Glorious, if someone could spell it correctly, the Glorious nickname, unless if someone does buy it, I'll have to buy it from them sometime in the future.
Correct.
It's fine. Yeah.
You better get on
but
that.
but that's kind of like I talk about. You know, I play a lot of games myself, and there's like super unique nicknames that are like, you know, the guy or something like that that everyone kind of wants.
King Ape. There's so many.
King Ape. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Godzilla, but
King Kong.
King Kong, right.
King Kong's naked.
Maybe that one's gonna be popular. I don't know any other popular. Harambe. I don't know if that's. Hopefully that's.
Harambe, yeah, that one's taken too.
Oh wow. Oh, I mean,
yeah.
it's the internet. Yeah, I assume. Yeah. Cool. All right. So I'll definitely link that. Very important. Names are very important, especially you know, for streamers, especially. They want to make sure they get it, you know. So that's great. And that's a clever idea. I've never seen like the name NFT. It's very clever. I know we talked that this is how we know that there's a lot of exciting things going on. We talked about the game, the NFT, the beta, etc. We forgot to mention probably one of the most important business related update, and that's IBM. You guys announced a partnership with IBM. That sounds like a really big deal. Maybe we should talk about that.
Yeah, so that happened. I know the guys over at IBM relatively well, and they've kind of been at me to work with me on something for a while, and in a good way, you know. So I've been putting this together for probably 3 or 4 months, and we've been working on it in the sidelines, and the team's done really well not to leak it out. So thanks, team. But it's really exciting because what the actual partnership is. So we're a silver business partner, and we're an ESA solution provider. So the ESA is embedded solution agreement. What we're actually doing is we're pioneering and standardizing on a crypto secure backend. So I'll just dive into a little technical stuff here, Brent.
No worries.
So
It might go
what's
over my
really
head, but my community probably is a thing. But
yeah, so I come from a tech security background in part, and seeing all the horrible exploits and flash loans and all those sorts of things is just highly frightening. So that was a problem to solve for me. So what we're actually doing for those wonderfully nerdy people out there that are interested is we're using FIPS 140-2 level 4 hardware security modules, which are individual hardware security modules for every type of wallet that we might have, which include the best in class available enterprise cloud security on the planet. So it's even better than any other provider ever. So what we're actually doing is we're pioneering the entire gaming stack on the IBM backend, which includes our Photon gaming server, our HyperProtect crypto secure services, and obviously the HSM modules, the VPS servers, which also use HyperProtect, and then our gaming database and privatized chain that links everything up together. So we'll templatize this, and then we will white label it. And part of our actual partnership agreement with IBM is that we will be assisting them find legitimate projects in the crypto space. We will vet them. We will assist them with their strategy and business approach, business model, potential mentorship, and those sorts of things to get them positioned appropriately for their trajectory. And then we'll hand the leads qualified over to IBM to work with them. And so essentially we become like a bridge or a gateway between IBM in the real world and crypto being, the Wild West. So we are the people that are kind of, bridging, moderating, and finding quality projects for them to work with using a variation of the templatized stack that we'll be developing. So for us, it's really exciting because we get co-branding and we also get co-funding based on, marketing and those sorts of activities. We'll be invited to special IBM, events and those types of things. But I think it's also a really great opportunity for IBM in that they can really sink their teeth into the space in a kind of risk-averse way because we will be assisting them vet all these types of projects and models and those sorts of things. So it's a very much a mutually beneficial partnership, and it's been a huge amount of work to get it positioned and sorted. But yeah, it really means great things for us in the future, for the coming years. And I think it shows that we're really dedicated to building out a whole ecosystem that provides value for the space, not just with the game, but also with helping other projects that we can potentially partner with in the future too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I think it's great how you're taking like this holistic approach of like you're helping out the users, making sure they're safe, but also working with potentially other projects. I've covered some projects that are just like crypto projects that are just like web apps that have potentially, have a lot of potential they could work with. And then also like, helping from IBM standpoint, who've never worked in the crypto space. I'm assuming I wouldn't know, but I would assume not working in the crypto space, but giving them, you're kind of like working as the blockchain arm of IBM. And I think white labeling it, building a platform, I think makes a lot of sense, right? And I think that's great. You're not just focused, totally you could just focus on the game and building your platform, but opening that up, actually building something that people want to use and helps others. I talk a lot about that on the channel, tools for companies and projects to utilize and make the crypto space better. And so, I didn't hear about this, so nobody leaked it to me before I saw it on like the announcement literally like a day ago. And I thought it's great. Like, no, you're working with a legitimate company, and my community is always looking for projects that are just more than just like a token. They're looking for maybe more than just token and a simple game. you're building out this whole, you know, I don't even know what to call it at this point, enterprise that's, you know, really changing, that has a lot of potential. So I'm happy that these things are happening in the crypto space, that companies like yourself with tons of experience, a huge team, is actually making the whole space better, because I think that's, you know, benefits us all. So
Yeah, that's it. And just to add to that, I mean, the strategy here, the one of the really core reasons that we developed and approached this, you know, from this angle is, we really want to be community focused, and that requires quite significant amount of manpower. So why does it require a significant amount of manpower? It's because when we get to the stage of incorporating the DAO, there's very likely going to be, you know, a very large amount of ideas for games and for projects and those sorts of things. And to utilize the full power of it, we need quite significant development manpower. So core to the strategy with executing that is to have that manpower essentially risk minimized and available. So what we're actually doing is, by leveraging what we're doing with IBM and some of the other things that we have coming up, we actually have 2 additional projects that we're helping out with on the development for soon, which are part of the additional partnerships coming. So what's really exciting about that is it allows us to horizontally build out our team in our different departments, with having those revenue streams come in, and really build out the decentralized company model properly, so that when we get time with the DAO coming around and we have all of our pieces in place, we have really good quality vetted manpower that is on board, ready to go for community requests and projects. So I think that side of things is hugely important, because you don't just, you know, roll out a DAO and go, hey, we can make all these great things for you guys, but we only have like 2 people available.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone.
I always talk about that, where I get weird projects that I want to build a wallet, platform, game, NFT, marketplace, and they only have 1 or 2 people. It seems like, I mean, you're talking about how you already have 5 artists working on the game, because you understand that, you know, if you want to build quality, you're going to need the people to do it. And that makes sense. And I think you guys are building this correctly. And I think a lot of people are going to see, a lot of other companies, not only like companies out there like IBM, are going to see this as like, oh, this is a successful partnership. This is all things they're doing. And they're probably going to use that as a case study to either work with you or, you know, just jump into the crypto space. And I think that's, like I said, that's what we want to see: positive things coming from crypto and these type of partnerships, rather than, you know, just hearing about other, you know, marketing efforts that other projects are doing. So
yeah, and I think from that perspective, that's one of the things I think that sets us apart from a lot of other projects, is that we're executing different strategies, and we have a variety of different strategies in our approaches. So, you know, a lot of people ask, so, you know, how much of a competitor do you think that you are to this project, that project? Well, the space is so new and it's evolving so fast. I don't view other projects that might be in the gaming or NFT space as competitors, because that would be silly. They have their niche market and we have ours. But if we're clever, we can combine the 2 together somehow, because we want to further the exposure, the market share, the growth for all projects in the space. That's how we win. Everyone wins by doing that. So, you know, based on that strategy, we're helping projects, you know, get to a level that is well above average. We secure those partnerships already, and that's a long-term strategy. But I think there's so much room in this market for crypto gaming, based on the online gaming industry itself, which is like 175 billion just in itself. And then you look at BSC space, 65 billion, not to mention all the gambling stuff, which we will approach in due course at some time. And, you know, there is a lot of opportunity. So there's no talking down on anyone. Everyone's done a great job in the space, I think, so far. but we can make this really amazing. So what we're going to do is go through the right process, the right channels. We'll build, a cornerstone of what this ecosystem can be and help everyone get there at the same time.
Yeah. To whoever said your competitor, there's, I can't even think of 5 crypto games out there, like there's, if you think about, you could look on Twitch and there's a million games that people are playing, that there's room for everyone. And I think that's what you're trying to say, like,
Yeah.
everyone could have a piece of pie and be a lucrative project. And the idea is that you're focusing on, obviously the game is very important and things like that, but that's just one piece of what Block Ape Scissors is doing. I think the platform is what you want to, is a huge part of it, because you want to work with others and build those partnerships from all angles, which I think is a smart, I don't have to say, of course, it's a smart move. And yeah, that's what, if I think about, when I talk about community, I talk about different projects, etc. And obviously yours, there's so much utility there, and so much potential that you guys are working on. And it's like, you can't help but be excited about everything going on. And that's what I see when I see top projects that only last like a couple of weeks or a couple of months, is probably they put like all their eggs in one basket and then they try to focus on one thing. And they try to scale this, but if it doesn't work out, I think this long-term value is important. And you're just not trying to be valuable to the investors, you're also trying to be valuable to companies that are potentially looking at crypto as maybe I should be doing something like IBM, etc. So I think it's great. I think a lot of exciting updates, and yeah, that's good. Like I said, IBM is a huge company, and I did want to mention, because I know that was a little bit of business, Dogepalooza. I'm new to this. I don't know. I've never heard of this before, but it's a festival or something. So you gotta keep me up. I saw that you posted your IBM and then Dogepalooza like commented on it. But maybe you could let me and the community know, what is this all about?
Yeah, so there's 2 figureheads for Dogepalooza, Greg and Sadie, amazing people. I spoke to them 2-3 weeks ago. We actually had like a 4.5-hour chat. It was just crazy. Essentially what they do is they're doing Dogepalooza as a suite of events and festivals celebrating Doge, and they're kind of a bridge between Doge and mainstream. So you have the Doge community, which is really great, and very dedicated community based on Doge and its utility as being a store of value and transfer value in the market. And then you also have all of these celebrities that Greg and Sadie are connected to that are really excited about the possibility of Doge. So there's this festival and events that are coming up that they're doing. The first one is in Texas, and yeah, it's going to be. Yes, it's going to be really.
I'm looking at the website now. At first, I was like, "Oh man, did I miss this?" But then no, we have plenty of time. October Festival, Dogecoin, first Dogecoin Festival, October Dogepalooza, October 9th. So 59 days. So we have plenty of time.
Yep. So I'm actually hoping that somehow I can travel and actually be there. But we have a number of people on our team, so to speak, who will be there. So we have an influencer called Garrett, who's part of the Mr. Beast team. And he will be there for us with the film crew and stuff. Hopefully we get a stand there. But the really exciting news is that by the stage that Dogepalooza, at least in the first one, is going to be taking place, Doge users will actually have the ability to play the game with Doge on our platform. So Dan, who's our Solidity guy, is CEO obviously as well of Gift. And what we're going to do there is we're going to be able to gift Doge, or people will be able to gift Doge directly onto our platform for other people to play. And iOS and Android will be out by that stage. So everyone will be able to play on their devices at the event and have a lot of fun.
That's smart. Yeah. Like that seems, and I think when we talked about it the first time, just like, because I didn't understand the game, but now it totally makes sense. Because I was asking about the name the first time, and I was like, this doesn't. But then I was like, oh yeah, now it completely makes sense. Yeah, and I think it's like the perfect festival, large gathering. People can play, and you like, I think you said up to 15 people or something like that. So perfect, especially on their mobile phones. That's the type you want to see. Again, I talked about my board games in the past. I'm all about that. Like, hey, physical. Hopefully, if everything works out by October 9th, I assume everything will be fine. Yeah, I think that's like the perfect thing to be doing. So I'm super excited. Yeah, and I saw Garrett. I'm familiar with Mr. Beast and things like that. So I saw him talk about you guys, and he has like 400. I'm super jealous. He has like 400,000 followers or something, even more now, something like that. But cool. It sounds super exciting. Yeah. I'm happy I didn't miss out on that. So I'll put, now I guess I have to put the link in the description for Dogepalooza, but it looks like you guys are gonna have a huge presence there, which is awesome. And people will probably be, since it's in October, people will probably be excited about Block Ape Scissors already. I was trying to think of, because I know it's coming out on web. When is the mobile app version coming out? Is it going to be around that time frame? Like,
Yeah, so I'm predicting that sometime mid-September we'll have
okay, cool. Yeah.
mobile app.
Okay. So about like a month before the Dogepalooza, people will be out there. So cool.
Yes, and then so we'll be integrating Doge. That'll be sometime in September as well. So probably towards the end of September. But realistically, once we have the back end and the individual wallets and the HSMs, it shouldn't actually be any difficult because the platform at the back end will be chain agnostic. So once we do one, it'll be easy to do the rest of them.
Cool. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about that last time. But cool. I know we talked a lot today about, I feel like we covered everything. We talked about the game, the NFT, we talked about IBM, which is crazy to be in a crypto conversation talking about IBM. We talked about Dogepalooza. Was there anything else that was super exciting? I think we keep saying, oh, it's been like a month. If we look back, it's probably been like realistically like 2.5 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So anything else that you think is super exciting beyond all those crazy things that you've listed? I'm obviously gonna let the community know about signing up for the alpha and then the NFTs and things like that. But is there anything else that we potentially missed that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, so there's probably two things. So at the moment, we have two products. Well, actually, one of them is locked, so we can't use it. But there's farming, which is available, and the lock staking, which people locked in on the 31st of July. And that locked staking comes available on the 31st of August, basically just after the beta. So why the locked staking is exciting and important is because everyone who locked into it based on a specific amount of BAS, they actually qualified for a tier, and that tier gave them NFT rewards as a bundle.
I'm looking. I missed out on this. Yeah. Where was my email? Look, yeah, there's 6 tiers, and looks like, wait, sorry. You start on 6 and then you go up. Tier 1 is the highest, right?
Tier 1 is the highest, and there's some really cool stuff in there. As an example, there is a referral code, hoodie or shirt, so they can choose the hoodie or the shirt. And that referral code is an actual QR code that's printed uniquely on that merch. And they're walking advertising for their own account. So we'll have very specific comps and tournaments that are based on, people who've referred other people, and they'll be rewarded in different ways over time. So those QR code referral merch is, it's going to be the gift that keeps giving over, different periods and times. They'll be active and inactive in different ways, but there's a heap of NFTs there in those bundles. So and that's locked, by the way. Unfortunately, no one can get in anymore right now.
Yeah.
But when we get out to September, we will very likely do this again with different tiers and a different stack of NFTs. So this one was quite successful. We predicted we would lock in around about 10 million BAS. It was actually 9 which represented close to 35% of the available supply at that time, which was really, really cool. And I think that people will probably lock in just as much, if not more, next time. So we'll see what happens. But keep an eye on our offerings, because the locked staking is basically 35% ROI over a month, which was really cool.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
And then you also get the NFT bundles. So there's farming at the moment, but we'll very likely do another locked staking approach, or if we have the DPY farms and available in the NFT applications on the farms, then we'll launch with them. There will be some kind of staking or farming component which is leveraged or provides bundles. So keep an eye on that. There's some really cool stuff out there. And the farming is still, I think it's about 800 or 900% APR or APY at the moment, which is pretty good. You just need to keep in mind that there are taxes when you break an LP and withdraw with PancakeSwap, because we can't whitelist that contract. Otherwise, we'd have no tax at all. But in saying that, we will also be looking at doing synthetic LPs, which have no actual tax at all. So Dan's working on that side of things. Excited to see that come to fruition, because I'm not comfortable with there being taxes in and out of the farms, for people. So we're working on eradicating that. But if you do ape into the farms, keep that in mind with the LP farms, that there are taxes. Everything's up on our docs. We put a whole bunch of new stuff up there on the docs as well, Brent. There's heaps of data there. So have a look at that, guys.
I'll link it in the description. Yeah, you weren't kidding about a lot of stuff going on. There is a lot. I did look at the farm staking, but I was focused on the games and the NFTs, to be honest. But yeah, I'll put a link in the description that goes over all those tiers. And it kind of gives you like how much BAS you need to put in at that time. Obviously it's locked now, but gives you guys an idea in the future how much you guys need. And they're like, I think the first tier is like 25,000 BAS, so it wasn't we actually dropped it because we didn't expect the token value to increase so much so fast, which is exciting, but we had to drop the requirements down for people to get in and fully appreciate the tiers. But yeah, guys, by all means, come and talk to us in the chats in Telegram and Discord. It's a really fun environment. Everyone loves having a bit of banter there, a bit of ape banter, and we generally stick to our pseudonymous roles in there and have a lot of fun. So be great to see you all in there and come join the conversation and ape in. Yeah, I appreciate you joining me today. I'm just trying to mental list. So they need to sign up for the alpha. They need to reserve their nicknames. They need to follow the Twitter to figure out ways where they can win NFTs.
Yep. And the community giveballs, which are part of Telegram and Discord. So that's the best way to get access to them.
Sign up for Dogepalooza. A whole bunch of stuff, a bunch of interesting things. I need a. It was hard. I tried to keep up these past weeks. So much things was going on just with your project alone. Hopefully, I get my hands on a way to test the game. I'm super excited about that. That's literally in like 6 days. Good luck with everything. Good luck with the launch. I assume it'll be smooth. I know you guys are experts with these things and you got everything set. I'll try to provide you guys an update when it launches. And yeah, I'm super excited about this project. As always, I am a BAS token holder. I probably would have put in a lot of, if I would have gotten into that. I'll wait for the next staking one, hopefully in September. But yeah, again, I appreciate the time. I appreciate you coming, talk to my community about this part. For me, selfishly, I just like hearing about the project. But thanks. And obviously, hopefully we could talk again in the future. Hopefully you'll ping me after this with all the secret stuff you're working on. But if you guys remember, check out the previous video where we talked about it. Check the website. I'll put in all the long links in the description. But thanks for joining me, Matt. I appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Brent. And yeah, I'm sure we'll get you a spot in there for the alpha test, mate. It'll be fine. And thanks for having me on. And to all of your community, thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you in the chat.
Thanks, everyone. Catch you guys later.
Thanks.